behind the scenes with future country rock blues kings and queens. Discover them first with Paul Mash TV. Paul Mash TV.
Well, hello there. It's Paul Mash TV time once again. Thank you for joining us. We got another great interview coming up for you in just a moment. But before we get into that, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell. And anytime we have a new interview for you, it'll show up there and let you know, and you can check it out. And leave a comment on the comment section. We'd love to hear from you there. And also, if you're on Facebook, go to facebook.com/PaulMashTV, which is our official Facebook page, and you can feel free to like the page, inbox us, comment, and everything you see there. And also, if you want to email us, it's paulmashtv, all one word, @gmail.com. And if you're a band or solo artist, you can use that. But hey, if you're simply a fan, you can use that same email address, and we'd love to hear from you. And all these things are going to be recapped for you at the closing credits at the end of the show, so stay tuned for that. From Brooklyn, New York, we have Al Unique, a very talented artist there. And I think you're going to agree, and we'll get to that in just a moment. But now it's click jam time, so don't go away. We'll be right back.
We got history, got me feeling the nostalgia when you look at me, thinking about what could.
All right, this interview time again as promised, and with us from Brooklyn, New York, we have Al Unique. Thanks for joining us, Al.
Hey, thank you. Peace.
All right, well, it's good to have you on the show today. How did it begin for you as far as being an artist? Because as you know, everybody has their own story, you know, as far as how they became an artist. And I'm sure you have an interesting story as well. Why don't you let everybody know?
Yeah, well, basically how it started for me was that when I was 12 years old, like I was always a big hip hop fanatic. And when I was 12 years old, I had just started writing poetry and everything. And in the midst of all of that, you know, like I was writing poetry for like older guys in my neighborhood, and you know, they were trying to impress girls. But in the middle of all of that, you know, I had friends that were like, hey, like, you know, let's just write a rap song. And we were like, all right, cool. You know, and I was always a big fan of Nas and Wu-Tang and everything at that time. So, you know, I kind of wrote like, you know, thinking like, you know, like as if I was one of them, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just got addicted to it. And then from that point on, I think I remember me and my friends when I lived in Florida, my friends and I, all transplants and everything, living down there and really into hip hop, we would like go grab like cassette tapes, grab two like stereos, one playing the beat, one recording our vocals, and just like record ourselves, just like going back and forth and rapping over like beats like Mass Appeal by Gangstar, and you know all these different kinds of like instrumentals that I would get from a cousin that was a DJ. Barney at the time it was Barney Rumble, but now it's just DJ Rumble. But yeah, so you know, that's pretty much like how I started getting into it like myself. You know, I had always had a passion for the art itself. You know, from like 10 years old on, I've always been like a big hip hop fanatic, and I've always been a fanatic of other music like jazz and reggae and whatnot. So you know, but hip hop was just my medium, you know, to express myself. It was the perfect medium for me to express myself.
Mm. Well, that's quite a story there. And you did mention Nas and Wu-Tang and all of them. That's those are pretty good people to look on. They're obviously legends in the world of hip hop. So
yeah.
Did you have any others besides them, or is that just pretty much?
Yeah, no, I mean, like Lord Finesse, I was a big fan of him. I don't know if people are familiar with Digging in the Crates crew. A big Cool G Rap, AZ, Big Pun, like these people kind of like I like their kind of double simplistic style and rhyming and everything. I thought it was really smooth. And Raekwon, that was another one. I used to play I mean, that's Wu-Tang, right? I used to play the purple tape of Cuban Link until it would pop, and then I would tape it back together and listen to it all over again. And outside of that, of course, like Bob Marley, Peter Tosh, Buju Banton, and everything. Yeah, like all these people inspired me. Malcolm X, even though he's not a musician, you know, all these people inspired me growing up.
Yeah,
and inspired how I approach my art.
Yeah, and that's definitely another good one, Bob Marley.
Mhm.
I haven't interviewed too many reggae artists on my show, but the ones that I have interviewed, they're pretty good. And of course, we do all genres here on my show. So, well, tell everybody exactly where we can find your music at. I mean, I'm sure it's on all streaming platforms, but if you do so happen to have some physical copies, you can volunteer that as well.
Yeah, oh man, I can't wait to get to the physical copy part. But currently, you can find my music on SoundCloud underneath Al Unique. You can find it on Instagram under Al Unique _noise with the Z. And also you can find it on Spotify, Apple Music, on all those platforms you can find it. And yeah, and it's all underneath Al Unique, ALUNIQUE. 2 separate words on all other platforms but Instagram. Instagram, Al Unique is one word, _NOIZE.
Okay. Well, I know he would love you if you download his music on those streaming platforms, as you mentioned. So go out there and get that today. And we're getting ready to watch Fulton Express, one of your music videos. Is there a story behind that music video? Maybe you could talk to us about that.
Yeah, so basically, the video was shot like really impromptu. You know, I have a really good friend of mine, Jean-Andre Antoine, who's a really popular street photographer here in New York. And he had me come over and he was just like, hey, look, I like the way you're dressed right now. I like the look, the vibe, you know, let's just shoot, you know, because he's the type of cat that he doesn't, you know, he's like, yo, once we get rolling with an idea, let's just do it. But the song itself was really based upon a conversation I had with some elders here in Bed-Stuy that were organizing called the December 12th movement. And they were breaking down to me different things about, you know, the community and, you know, the direction that we should be going in as a community, and how oftentimes a lot of people get into activism, like in pursuit of not just like to make change, but they also try to balance making money as well. And oftentimes the two don't go together. So, you know, it was like this dichotomy, like, yo, do I like, and it's a dichotomy that all people face. You know, basically like all poor people, like, what are you fighting for? Are you fighting for survival or are you fighting for freedom? That's basically what the song is asking. So towards the end of the song, you hear me basically talking about like, yo, if you are hustling, you know, why don't you bring that money together and put it into the community and then start something, like collectivize your earnings and everything so that we can all come up. And then, you know, I fade out because part of it, you hear me say, like, I'm not the one to preach or anything, because, you know, you start getting a little too conscious and then people stop listening for a while. But I felt like I had made my point by that time. But yeah, but that's what, but it's a real short and sweet song with the message. That's what it is.
Okay. Well, I know everybody's getting ready to jump right into that video, and we will be in just a moment or so. Before we do, thank you, Al, for being on the show. We'd love to have you back sometime if everything.
No problem. No problem. And I'd like to say I produced that joint too.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll be looking forward to you one day. And so let's just check that out. Fulton Express by Al Unique right here on Paul Mash TV. So don't go away. We'll be right back.
Peace.
I was chopping up with this OG the other day on Foot in the Ocean, and he dropped the jewel on me.
Choose a side, pick a team, get free or get your green. On my side, my mission seems something like a simple dream. Take a L, fuck that. Before that, I be pissing clean, clears and a histamine. What's the cost of getting seen? Drama best you missing me. Run like you shitting green. True stings, Listerine. Roll with the difference. You sit between, fighting for my freedom, or I'm getting cream. Lit the green. Voice said, black man, live your dream, get yours by different means, any means. Plenty things beyond reach. Yo. And so I reach for the moon, cherry pick the stars. 1 million, 2 million, shit, I'm living large. But none of that resolves all the hitting scars. Mortal life to getting paper and my nog getting slobbed. Scheming on my present while my future's getting robbed. Over sins of my father, I am not absolved. I evolved, couldn't solve all this past since it's past tense. Nowadays we build for all the things we kill for, all the things we live for. Family, unity, love flows fluidly. Foolishly, we often die for lunacy. Proving we was a man, brother man. But if you move a bunch of grams, stack the cash and rubber bands, invested in another plan to help the hood to understand and keep it with the people. They can't nobody beat you. The beast would like to eat you.